Bilal Sunni-Ali wrote this song. It's called Whirlwind. War is never easy. It's bound to bring on hardship. It's bound to make you weary. Reach out for me. This is what she's saying. And war will have us parting. Our path is getting distant. We might not see each other until we win. So until then, until we win, look for me in the whirlwind. Try to see my face in the whirlwind. Try to grab her hand in the whirlwind. To say, do all you can to help your sister, woman, brother, man through the whirlwind. Reach out for me. Reach out for she. Reach out for she. For victory.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Welcome to the Seedz of Revolution, Daughters of the Whirlwind podcast. The revolution is live. I'm Dr. Asantewa Sunni-Ali. Let me correct that. I'm Dr. Asantewa Fulani Sunni-Ali. Let me represent my mama up in here.
Okay.
And I am a scholar, a professor of Africana Studies. I teach at Kent State University. I am also creator, director of the Seedz of Revolution documentary and research series, where we examine Black people, African people, wherever we are in the world, and our strategies and tactics as we move toward African liberation. And so I'll stop there and allow my sisters, my beautiful podcast co-hosts here, to introduce themselves.
Okay, I am Princess Mdaiyah Yisrrael. I am a wife, a mother. I am administrator of our land. I am a farmer, a gardener, and I am presently working on building a community out in Sparta, Georgia, where we are building a tactical field, a campground, a spa retreat, a holistic health institute named after Iya Fulani, Sunni-Ali, and Dr. Mutulu Shakur. I am the, as I said, Princess Mdaiyah, meaning that I am the princess of my community. So I'm the head in charge.
The HPIC head princess in charge.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Aiyisha.
How do I go after
The HPIC.
My name is Aiyisha T. Obafemi. I am a daughter, a sister, a mother, an aunt, a cousin, a friend, a mentor, an entertainment executive, a marketing executive. I'm a producer. I am an author. I'm a TEDx talker. I am many things. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is that I am the big sister of Dr. Asantewa and Princess Mdaiyah. So I'm blessed and thankful to be sitting here with them today.
Yes. I don't think I said I'm a daughter, so our father is in the studio, and
Yes.
I saw him mouthing over there, daughter.
I didn't even see that. See,
So I'm
but
a daughter.
You know,
I'm a daughter.
we here.
I'm a daughter too.
And he's a forever teacher, and corrector. If you do
Yes.
something wrong,
In the most gentle way, though.
always, and loving, so loving. We love you, Daddy.
And then also wanted to just mention we are the daughters of Iya Fulani Sunni-Ali, Baba Ahmed Obafemi, and Baba Bilal Sunni-Ali.
That's right.
And there's a few others, but
So we opened up with the song Whirlwind, which was sang by our mother, Iya Fulani Sunni-Ali. She sang it so beautifully. Mm-hmm. But the lyrics were actually written by our Baba Bilal Sunni-Ali. And so we want to just take a few moments and hear from you, Baba Bilal. Like, can you just tell us about the song? Like, when did you write it, and what was the inspiration behind that song?
Thank you. The music and lyrics were written by myself. And we wrote that in, I believe it was 1981. We had actually wrote music for a play. It started off as a poem by Askia Muhammad Touré called Tomorrow the Whirlwind. And when Brother Amiri Baraka heard it, he said, that's a play. Mm-hmm. And so we premiered it in 1981 at the National Black United Front. I don't know if it was the first or second, but it was National Black United Front convention in Brooklyn, and we premiered the whole thing. I did the music. Like I said, Askia Muhammad Touré wrote it, and Amiri Baraka directed it. Actually, it turned out to be about Assata Shakur had been released, and she wasn't released by the state. She was released by the people. People in their own apparatus released her from prison, mm-hmm. and she was on her way to wherever she was on her way from, and within the production there was a dream sequence in that she was visited in the dream by Harriet Tubman. There were several songs that talked about it, but that song that we opened the podcast with was actually the closing song of the production, Look for Me in the Whirlwind. And it was calling for, Look for Me in the Whirlwind was calling for people to look for each other. It was called a revolutionary love song, and revolutionaries were beckoned to look for each other in the whirlwind as we were being forced into the whirlwind at that particular time. I'm going to zip it right there. 'Cause I can go on and on and on.
I just have
on
one.
and on.
I have a follow-up question for you. Could you just briefly describe or define Whirlwind?
Well, let me first say that in defining it and describing it, Marcus Garvey introduced that phrase to us: "Look for me in the whirlwind." And the whirlwind describes the wind, like you may hear Matul Shakur often say, "And here comes the wind." Mm-hmm. The wind, the total wind that we're all connected into, and when we are at war and we don't see each other. We refer to that as being in the whirlwind. When we're actually active at war in different places in the world, in the universe, and that which connects us is the wind, the whirlwind. WHIRL.
All right now, teacher. He said, I'm going to spell it for you, just in case. Thank you, Baba. Asante Sana.
Sineno.
Yes, you had to put that little lesson up in there.
No, Sineno is what people don't say much anymore.
That's true.
Sineno and Sikitu.
Sineno and Sikitu, all of it. Madase, Pa. While we're talking about language, we're also honoring our mother's birthday. So this year would have been her 75th birthday.
Yes.
And I said while we're talking about language, because I was thinking about Faraha Kuziliwa, and I was also thinking about the fact that we sang it completely different when we lived in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So it was like the reverse. So Kuziliwa Faraha versus Faraha Kuziliwa to you. Yeah. So we want to say Faraha Kuziliwa Faraha to our mama. Happy birthday, mommy. Happy
birthday, mommy.
Happy heavenly birthday. 75 years ago, you
blessed this earth.
Yeah, you graced the earth with your presence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I think we'll segue over to talking about some of the lessons that she taught us. Mm-hmm. Hashtag Iya Fulani taught me or taught us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So who wants to
the oldest
start?
Wow.
The eldest.
Especially she's the elder.
You got taught first, so.
Yeah.
She taught me a lot. Mm-hmm. I know that don't ever think that she's not listening.
Oh, yeah.
And that she doesn't hear everything, because she does.
Mm-hmm.
Iya Fulani taught me to always look people in the eye. Iya Fulani taught me not to fear anybody, especially any man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
Fear only fear itself. But know who you are. I was taught to always be proud of who I am. And the things that I was taught as a child and that I would say, people were very surprised. And they would say, who told you that? My mother.
Like my mama did.
She didn't talk to us like we were children. We were children, but she talked to us as if we were people and made sure that we understood. And also, one of the major things that I remember all the time is that she told us never be afraid to ask questions.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
No matter who you're asking a question of. Mm-hmm. And I know that she said, because when she grew up and growing up and going to Catholic school, they were told not to ask the nuns anything. And so mommy would get in trouble a lot, that they called grandma a lot because she asked questions. Or she would say, that doesn't sound right. And they'd call her mother. Grandma would go, and she'd tell them, yeah, I told her that. I told her to ask questions. So, you know, I know that was something that she wanted to instill in us, and she did, and made sure that we always felt comfortable asking questions and having those conversations about any and everything within the household with our parents, you know, family meetings. We didn't always want to have them, but they were good, right?
Yeah, they were good. In
Yeah.
retrospect, you know,
They were good.
I look back and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for those family
We
meetings.
do them now
Yeah,
with
we
our
do 'em now.
families.
We do.
So,
Carrying on.
yeah. I mean, yeah, carrying on the traditions of mommy, grandma, aunties, all the grandmas and the aunties, you know, who came before us and who are the reasons why we are here today.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Well, lessons that mommy taught me. One of the biggest lessons I would say, along with everything my sister Aiyisha said, is never be afraid to stand for what you believe in. I have many stories of being in school, and like my mother, I would ask questions or correct the teacher respectfully, and the teachers would get upset, and my mother would come up there and, like her mother, let them know, hey, I taught my daughter this, and she has a right to ask questions and to correct you respectfully, especially if she's understanding that, you know, what you're saying or how you're saying it may be incorrect. Another thing she taught me was about discipline. Her discipline was magnificent. Like, when I hear the stories of just how when we were raided or when they were doing security, you know, one thing that everybody always says is they talk about Fulani's strength and her discipline in maintaining order. You know, the other day I was talking to Uncle Matulu, and he actually talked about how if you came in this time for workout, like time for training, and you wasn't dressed for training, Mommy would be like, you're not ready, and tell them to go home. You know, and he was like, her discipline and her tenacity to, you know, be correct, not correct as trying to be the boss, but correct and for us to maintain that order. Because we were always taught too that if there's an order given and we're in front of the enemy and one person doesn't follow that order, we could be annihilated just that quick. So that's another thing that, you know, I take with me, I carry with me, and I even tell my children, like, when we're out and I say something, it needs to be done. Not a pause or a why, or just do it, because obviously there's something that I'm preventing or protecting you from.
Right.
So I, you know, that's some of the things my mother taught me, and that I, as a mother, teach to my children, my sons and my daughters.
Yeah, I tell my 5-year-old that stuff right now. Like, I know that sometimes she's looking at me like, Mommy, like, what are you talking about? But I tell her, like, because I want her to go ahead and internalize that message right good and now. Like, if you are not following suit, if you're not paying attention, following directions, it could be a matter of life and death.
Yes.
Like, it really can be. So yes, I carry that on from Mommy as well. So I made a list of a couple of things.
Of course you did.
Right.
Of course I did.
Doctor.
So diplomacy. Like, Iya Fulani was one of the most diplomatic people,
Yes.
you know, that I know. And I really feel like I model a lot of my diplomacy, you know, after her. and hey, Baba Bilal, if you were here, this man, I'm telling you, always on point. Let me see it again, because I want to read it. So Baba Bilal is showing us his shirt. It says, "The Art of Citizen Diplomacy." I don't know what the rest of the shirt is about, but you know, we're you know, right on point here in terms of talking about the importance of diplomacy, because I would watch my mother in all kinds of situations, you know, being able to, you know, keep calm, be attentive, be very observant, focused, right? She had this laser sharp focus. Like, so many things could be happening around her, and she was able to really kind of hone in, be present, and know exactly how it is she should be moving based on her environment. And I would watch that. I would watch her so much in awe, even as a young girl. And as I've, you know, gotten older, I've come to appreciate it and really kind of understand the multifaceted kind of nature of what she was doing, like what she was actively doing in those moments, where, you know, if you didn't have eyes to see, you would just think that she's just sitting there.
Right.
But no, Iya Fulani is working. Like, that brain is working. She's active. She's processing, and she's figuring out, like, what does this moment need?
Right.
What do these people need? You know, and how am I going to kind of rise to the occasion? And so resilience is another word. And Afua, you spoke to this too, like just being able to endure so much, you know. And I know we're not doing like birth stories and stuff today, but just in thinking about, you know, my own birth story, you know, and the fact that she was on the run, you know, in political exile and also incarcerated, you know, while pregnant. You know, like, I've been pregnant twice now. and
can't imagine,
you know, like, just working, you know, would be tiresome for me. Having a job, you know, doing a little workout, like those things, you know, became a bit of a challenge. But to be in the hands of the system,
to be on the run,
to be in a correctional facility, to also be mourning the death of, you know, your comrades who have been taken out or who are also in exile or imprisoned.
And so not only just being on the run pregnant, but being on the run with 4 other children.
With other children.
In a foreign country. With your husband being incarcerated and you doing your best to protect them. That's resilience. Like, sometimes I think about all the things I've gone through, and then I'm like, I can't even compare it to the things that my mother has gone through. But just to know that she was able to keep her head high and keep her sanity, so that her small children and her baby in her belly survived it. That's powerful. That's resilience.
And not just survived it, but like she poured into us so that we would be thriving out here.
Exactly.
You know, and not just kind of like hanging on by a thread.
We
not
weren't
just
scarred from it.
Not just, you know, there's some scar tissue.
Yeah, but I'm
know,
saying
we'll talk about that.
Scar.
You know,
we don't carry the scar that it has impeded our growth. You know what I mean? She fed us through those times so that we could grow through the pain and not let the pain suffocate us from growing.
And not become the pain. Not become the scar. Right. But knowing that, okay, yes, they're there. You know, but it's not who we are. It's not our identity.
Absolutely.
For sure. Respect is another word. She had a tremendous amount of respect for human beings. You know, and I think because of, you know, the way that she carried herself, like I talked about, that diplomacy, that resilience, everybody respected her. Like, she demanded respect. Like, if she walked in a room, people knew. Like, they assumed the position. Like, there's a general in the room right now. You know, there's a woman, a person that's worthy of your attention. You know, and your respect. And so she commanded that, and not in any kind of arrogant way. You know, humbly. It was just she humbly. And I think a lot of the times people were kind of in awe, like, who is this? Who is she? That's Queen Nandi, y'all. That's Iya Fulani.
And the key thing too, whether they liked her or not, they respected her. Because the one thing say that. Because the one thing too, she knew when someone didn't like her, but she didn't flaunt that in front of them. She still held who she was.
That diplomacy.
And because of that, they had to respect her.
Yep.
You know, and that's something that I know I've learned, because there's people that don't like me, but when I walk amongst them, they're like, yeah, you know.
There's folks out there that don't like the princess.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what can I say? I don't even know why.
I think we all have
I'm not
that.
going to call out
I know
their
there's
names,
plenty of people who don't
yeah,
like me.
But
It's
they
cool.
respect you because you carry yourself in that manner.
Everyone likes me, so
Yeah, we
I
know.
can't relate, y'all. But yeah, empathy.
Yes.
You know, like our mother was a spiritual healer.
Yes, she was.
You know, doctor. So some folks referred to her as Dr. Fulani or Dr. Sunni-Ali. And she was a spiritual healer. And so she had that ability, again, to kind of tap into people's needs.
Yeah.
People would come to her, of course, you know, for spiritual guidance, for readings.
Yes.
Just straight up advice.
Right.
You know, I didn't say it earlier, but you know, I'm also a mentor, a full mentors people. Aiyisha did mention the fact that she mentors people. So these are things that, again, you know, she modeled for us, and we watched her do.
Yes.
You know, even people that we revered in the community.
Yes.
Her peers.
Yes.
She would be mentoring her own peers.
Right.
And so she had this empathy about her, where she was able to really kind of understand and kind of get on the level of the different people around her.
It was like no judgment zone.
Yeah.
People felt comfortable talking to her about things because she didn't make them feel bad, you know, for these decisions or different things. She treated everybody with respect and helped with whatever they needed when they would come to her with those problems and questions and things.
Yes. She was mother to a lot of people.
Yes, she definitely was mama to the world, to our friends,
Yeah.
extended community. And then the other two words that I wrote down, actually there's three if I'm going to be accurate. So serious, it's a very serious woman. Don't play with her. Don't play with her, and don't play with anybody around her. Right? Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with her children. Don't play with her husband. Okay, not Baba Bilal. I was about to say your nickname that she had for you, but I ain't gonna do that.
Well, I did.
Because that ain't everybody. Nah, it's another one.
I know.
Yeah,
we're not gonna do that one.
No.
Look, Daddy just winked. He said, "Yeah, that's right. That's right. I taught y'all
that on the
well.
low.
I taught y'all well. Security, and that's my last one too. Security conscious. That was a security conscious one. Full spoke to it a little bit earlier, but Iya Fulani, she taught you how to read a room. And again, like I know we're saying Iya Fulani taught us these things, but it wasn't her always sitting us down and saying, "Hey, this is how you read a room, daughter."
Right.
It was more of her just doing it.
Yep, leading by example.
Yes.
You know, and being on point all the time.
Yeah.
You know, if we at Kroger.
For
All
real.
the time.
She had security. It did not matter.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm getting out the car, lock your door.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, look around.
Look around.
If somebody is approaching the vehicle, this is how you want to position yourself. You know, so that you're prepared because you don't know what may happen.
Yep. Always back into the parking spot. Just different things.
And watch people.
Yeah.
Watch who's watching you.
Right. Because they watching you.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, look at people's hands. Like I started
that's
just
right.
studying my surroundings, like on a very intricate, you know, level,
Yes.
because I saw her doing that. And as an adult, I'm recognizing that, oh yeah, my environment and the people around me is telling me a lot.
It
Yeah.
is. Yep.
And once again, it's telling me, you know, just as she did, how I need to be moving.
Yep.
And I think in that too, we teach our friends and the people around us. Like people look at them like, "What are you doing?
Right.
You know, what's happening? What's wrong? Nothing.
Right. Just
you know,
observing.
even the small things. Y'all remember the rule of being in a hotel room? What do you do when you leave your hotel room? You turn your TV on.
Yes.
You put your do not disturb
Disturb
sign,
sign on, yep.
so they think somebody is in the
Always
room.
in the room.
Like, so I do that, and the people are like, "What you doing?" Oh, yeah, hold on,
Yeah.
just
Now
turn it
folks
up.
gonna know.
loud.
Now folks gonna know. There's somebody in
That's
there.
somebody.
There's somebody
No,
in there.
everybody needs to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, you all.
You
need
should
to
do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a
Security.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about when you said seriousness. Remember, mommy, when it was time to go to bed, That's when she really got you be playing. She be like, I said, go to bed.
Even as adults, when I became an adult and I didn't live at home anymore and I was in New York, went back home to New York and then came back to Atlanta and we were in the house doing our movies, how we do our movie quotes.
Yeah.
Movie lines.
Doing Color Purple. Go to bed, all of you, go to bed. It's 1 a.m. Go to bed. I'm like, Mom, I'm grown.
Right.
I don't care, go to bed.
Right.
I need my time.
Right. Y'all messing up my time.
Because I'm telling you, that woman did so much
Right.
in a given day with her 24 hours.
Yes.
Right.
So,
And we'd be up laughing, tired.
But laughing.
she's
And
like,
then she'd
I
look at
need
us.
my downtime now.
Yeah, and then we would try it with her, try joking with her.
Right.
She's
Oh,
looking at us
right.
like that.
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
go to bed.
Didn't crack
Okay.
a smile.
Give you the look.
She would have done great on those, you know how they do those little jokes with
Yeah. see how fast you
See
can
if I
Who
laugh.
can
can hold
make
the
you laugh.
serious face?
she would have won
She would've
millions of
won
dollars.
every
she
time.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, no, I'm not gonna cave. You're not gonna
At
get
all.
me.
At all. And then the other time she was serious when she was eating her food. Do not.
Oh,
And don't ask her for
Don't
nothing.
ask for
don't
nothing.
ask for none of it.
If you even reach, you was getting something.
You gonna get your hand popped.
Hand pop, back slap,
I don't care how old you are.
Right.
You're getting your hand popped, all right?
or a
Don't
fork
touch
to your
Don't
hand.
touch this hummus. Don't touch my hummus
Or
and
her,
tabbouleh.
or her chicken wing.
And my,
But
and
she
my
definitely
Kalamata
wanted whatever
olives,
we
all right?
had.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let me
We
get
could
some of
share,
that.
but
Yeah, let me I'll take a taste. Right. I miss my mommy.
yep.
Oh, man.
She was
Yeah,
definitely
for
there.
mommy.
Yeah. We should have had, so we don't have any Three Musketeers.
Or Pepsi.
Well, yeah.
But
Three Musketeers. What's the other thing she liked?
the
other candy.
Baby Ruth.
Yes.
Yes, the
Oh,
Baby
yeah,
Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
She must have got that from Elijah.
She had
Probably.
to.
Because Elijah loved him some.
Yeah.
Bars
Anything
of
with-
candy.
Yeah.
You were
Yes.
going to bring me a bar of candy. It's like, who are you, dude? Like, where are you from? Like, a bar of candy.
And any kind. You're like, what?
Leroy.
As long as it had peanuts or peanut butter in it.
Right.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was fine.
That
Yes.
was it for him.
Yep.
Chocolate.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
daddy.
Chocolate.
Yeah,
Now go
daddy's
to the
in the
store.
back. There
Well,
he
you know,
is.
mommy loved the chocolate.
Yes.
She said she ate chocolate cake every day she was pregnant with me.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's why I love chocolate so
Oh, that's why you chocolate.
That makes
Okay,
sense.
got it.
Because you silly. You're so silly. I didn't even get that. That's why you chocolate. Oh. Ep.1, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll bow to that.
I
She's
love
here all week.
chocolate, too. I didn't know she passed that down to us.
Oh, yes.
Yep, that's a weakness.
Yes, the chocolate.
Yes.
So what are y'all like most excited about for this podcast?
Ooh. I'm most excited about the fact that now we can talk about not everything, but things.
Right. Still gonna be security conscious.
Yes, we are. But growing up the way we did with being tight-lipped, closed-mouthed about things, that some of my friends now are like, I had no idea. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I know.
those things, being in high school, in 1981 when, the Brinks incident happened and then the raid and, mommy was arrested and all of those things. That's a time where, a child needs their parents, and especially, a mother as a young black girl in high school is trying to make sure, you're staying on the right path. So, kudos to our parents and mommy, especially because I never had to worry about that. Like, it wasn't a thing. I always say that they prepared us for what was to come and the conversations. And I remember us having a conversation in the backyard in New Orleans East in, 1981 before the arrest happened, about things. So when you're growing up and being taught certain ways and your parents aren't talking to you as though you're a baby, but talking to you and giving you information and making sure you're educated and you understand or overstand what's happening, that, makes all the difference. Because I could have went crazy.
Yeah.
I could have been like, oh my God. I lived without my parents for most of high school. We lived together again right before I started 12th grade. So, it's that time, that molding time. But thankfully, the people who were surrounding me, the support system we had, including, our immediate family and those people who stepped in, extended family to help care for us and, allowed us to live with them. We lived in different places for so many years, that we didn't live together as siblings. So that was, something that it's interesting to think about. And when I step back and really think about it and think about, how it could have turned out different for all of us, it's just a blessing that we are here, we're strong, and we're able to share the stories of what happened and the different reasons why things happened, but also, it helped to make us strong.
Yes.
Stronger. And it's allowed us to live our lives in such a way that people are in awe. And they're like, wow, with everything you guys went through, and, I'm surprised this or I'm surprised that. I'm not surprised because we are who we are, and everybody,
and we don't know no
that.
other way.
True.
Right. That's the thing
True.
too. It's like,
I wouldn't have it any other way. Like even the moving, living in so many. When people ask me, "Where do you live? Where are you from?" I'm like, "Okay, I was born here. I'm from here.
Right. But I lived here for 3 months.
And then New Orleans, is a second home to me because I feel like that's what raised me. Being there. That was middle school, high school, first year college. So it's like that's the place. That's the place that feels like home. Yeah.
Safe.
So, yeah.
And then no matter where we were, like we always had this kind of worldly, or I guess worldwide kind of cultural orientation, to life. And so even no matter where we were, we had folks around us from all over the globe.
Right.
All those different perspectives that were, helping to kind of like give us understanding about life and our experiences.
Yes. And letting us know that it's not just about these little states, North America. It's like you can go everywhere, be everywhere, because our parents did it.
Yes.
So by them having that love of travel, that helped to open us up to all of that. And you know how much I love to travel.
Yes, I was about to say.
Oh, yeah.
My husband says all the time. He was like, every time I talk to you or somebody in your family, you're always on the go. It's like y'all have to do
always
something.
On the run.
And I think that comes from that too, because he's like, why are y'all always moving? And as an adult, I look at it now like, well, it was part of our rearing. We had to always move. So a lot of times, it's not that we're running from something, but it's like, okay, there's more to see than just this moment. There's more to do than just right here, where we're based at. It's so much more to do, on the move.
Yeah.
So
we're global citizens. Like
exactly.
we really are.
Yeah, trailblazers.
Well, I like to go. I'm gone all the time now.
Yes, you are. I'll be like,
that's what happens when your children grow
she's here
up.
for one night.
I can't wait. Right?
It's amazing.
Just on that, before we switch subjects here, I was thinking about just the fact that we would travel with mommy and daddy, like wherever they, like if they had to work. Like my first time traveling outside the country, to Cuba
was with
my mommy was doing spiritual work. Or even, daddy, would work the Jazz and Heritage Festival in New Orleans.
And we'd be in the van tucked under something.
And we would hop in that brown can. Right, what do we say? Security.
Security.
But yeah, we would
They
jump
know
in
we-
that
they
van
knew
and we
it.
would just be on the road.
Yes.
Like wherever, our parents had to go, whether it was to make money, whether it was to attend, New African Nation Day or
Yep.
some important meeting or whatever it was.
Well, every summer we were on the road. Like I don't even. We would be
summer.
gone.
Every summer.
Every
and
summer they
also
drop us in New York.
winter
Yeah.
break too.
Yeah, winter break.
winter
Every break.
Yes, every break.
And we would be
had to do
bringing
something.
Kwanzaa to our family.
Yep.
So that was another part too. It's like,
Yeah.
you all, and I'm looking at Daddy now, like y'all were not just, out here building, the liberation movement and being activists for people that you didn't know. You were also doing it within our own, family structures too.
Yes.
Like, okay, yep, let's bring Kwanzaa to grandma's house.
Right.
Because they're not celebrating Kwanzaa. So let's go and, celebrate that there and introduce that. And
Yes.
yeah, I was even thinking about the fact that school was decentered,
Yes.
School was not like the center of our world or our universe, or once again, like it wasn't our identity. Like our parents weren't like, oh, you have to be in school so we can't go take this trip.
Right.
I remember
Oh,
y'all I remember y'all writing letters
Right.
to my teacher. As a matter of fact, I looked forward to it
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
spring. It was going to be a letter written to the teacher saying, hey, my parents, are traveling, and we would be gone for about 2 weeks.
Yes.
So they would make me packets,
Yep.
that I would have to do on the road.
Yeah.
And again, in thinking about lessons,
Well, we
and
had
what our
lessons
parents
anyway.
taught us.
Exactly.
Right.
We did
Like,
outside
that actually-
of the schoolwork.
Yes.
Yeah, that taught me now to not take education is one thing. School and day schools is a whole nother thing. Me and Daddy had a long conversation about
Yes.
this yesterday. And so it's helping me now to, kind of decenter school, in my daughter's life. She's only 5. But yeah, it's helping me to like understand that no, her education is much broader than
Yes.
this place, and these places will have you thinking otherwise.
Oh, they will.
Right, in terms of how they treat your children, how they push grades and all these other kind of things that are just not important in the grand scheme of things, in terms of rearing a child and helping a person to be a whole human being.
Right.
And
So
talking
I'm
about
thankful for that.
schools, that just brings me to that's part of the reason why I'm doing or building the Holistic Institute out there on the land that we own now, because it's a learning institute for you to be able to learn holistic healing, holistic love, holistic patience, and it's going to be healing on all levels. And then it's also part of the reason why I'm part owner of a school that we started 2 years ago, because the education of what, like you were explaining, mommy was saying, and mommy and daddy taught us that education doesn't just fit into the curriculum that they build for us. We have to rebuild these curriculums that fit our children individually. And like the school that we do, it's called work-based learning. It's a work-based learning school, and then it's geared around, let's say if Amina Charm comes to the school and she says, I want to be a dancer, then her whole program from kindergarten to 12th grade will be geared to what she wants to focus on, not what America says curriculum should be. And that's something that so many people want to, they want to fit in that box. So they're like, no, if they don't get this grade or if they don't have this score, then they're not going to be accepted. But they're not going to be accepted if that is not what they desire. They're going to go to these schools and then they're not going to excel in the way that they really want to, because it's not something that they thrive in, And then on the other part is, even if they excel, when they get out in the world, that's not even what they really want to do. So you've kind of, in so many ways, submerged their dream.
Yeah. It's a setup.
Right. And then now you're trying to figure out, now who do I become with what they gave me?
I saw something on social media maybe like 2-3 weeks ago where somebody was saying, like, from childhood to death. They were saying, okay, you're a child. They tell you to go to school. They teach you this stuff in school. And what they teach you in school is you need to go to school, get a degree, find a job. Then you work. Then you retire. Then you die.
Then you die. Right.
It was like You know, it was the way they did it. They did,
Yeah.
you know, like with the images and
Yeah.
stuff. It was sad.
Yeah, it's like a program.
Yeah.
It's a program.
It's all set up.
They set us up for it. Well, not us, because we don't follow that program. But it's a program that they have set in this society. And then they put the pressures on you to do it. And people are like, oh, your child ain't in college?
Right.
I'm like, well, no. They chose another path. And their path is actually doing great for them. So I support that path. I've learned that it's not about what they say we're supposed to do. It's really about you being in tune with who you are supposed to be, you know, and accepting the path that the Creator gave you, and not accepting the path that someone made up for you to follow.
Right.
Right, and being prepared, like having that strength to fight back and resist, you know, when those messages, you know, come to you that no, this is what it is, you know, having that fortitude and that discipline.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, that Iya Fulani discipline.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the support of your family.
And the support
and
of
the
your
support.
family.
All of that matters,
Yeah.
you know, in order to live this life, to live the life of a revolutionary.
Yeah. And I like what you said, the support of the family. Like, one thing I will say in our family, because when I look at us, we all look alike, but we all have so many different facets of ourselves. And we support each other regardless. You know, like, people be like, oh, your family is okay with you being a Hebrew? I'm like, I mean, I don't know if it's okay. I don't know if
Well,
the
yeah, I
word
told
is,
you it was okay, though. I
Like,
remember when you
I'm
came to me and you
Yeah,
got
I did.
permission.
Yeah, I
and
did.
You was
I
like,
did,
Taylor,
yeah.
can I be?
and you was like, okay, I
was like,
can
yeah,
support
that's
that.
okay with me. Yeah.
So, you know, but that to me, like, when I tell people, me being who I am, I get the support from my family, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be who we are. And with being who we are, we're not putting a pressure on each one, any of each other, any of us, to be. I don't want Aiyisha to be who I am. I don't want Asantewa to be who I am. I want them to be who they are. And then we support each other in whatever endeavors.
Tell you I'm gonna be who I do.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot.
She the baby, so
she gonna do what I say. But, you know, just thinking about from supporting, you know, I can remember when I was in high school and Chaka started doing his street team and stuff, and I didn't know, but he was like, come on, you come with me. And I just went along and did it. Like,
marketing and promoting.
Yes, passing out lugs.
Let's be clear.
And
I remember that.
Yes, and then he was up here at WFG, and I'd come up here and do stuff with him. But it was what? It was just
The
support.
sound room.
The sound room, yes. And it was just the support of being able to support each other, you know. And I think about just the different paths that we've all taken and how each one of us has stepped up to support one another. Even our children, you know, down to our children now, like, just to see how they support one another is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Because they're cousins, but they act more like siblings.
Yeah.
And it just shows that the legacy that was brought to us from our parents and how we have continued it, even if it's not in the same way, it's still it's still embedded in us. So we have bred it into our children. So that support is 100%. You know, everyone needs support to thrive.
Definitely.
And the way that, you know, this next generation supports us, too.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cal for real. Shout out to
Right.
Cal for real.
My handsome nephew.
Yes, always there to support and document.
Yes.
So we give thanks for you, too.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Alma. I don't know where she is.
Yep.
Yeah,
she's not
out
in
and around
here.
somewhere.
And Ezekiel.
Teacher extraordinaire, big sister, big cousin.
Yep.
Shout out to all of them.
All of them.
All of them for helping to just keep the family, keep this legacy going, you know. And that's what I look forward to in terms of this podcast. That's what I'm really excited about, is that we get to share,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
because we are a part of a dynamic family and extended community, you know, of just really amazing people.
Yes.
You know, people that have changed the world, people that are continuing to just make waves, you know, even, you know, within our own siblings, you know, all of us respectively. And I'll say that about myself. Yeah, I'm making changes out here.
Yes,
I'm proud of
absolutely.
myself. I'm proud of all of you. And I'm happy to be able to share that with the world, because we've been talking about this for
a long time.
a while. And I don't know that we were using the language of podcast.
No.
But we have said on so many occasions. Like we gotta figure out. We have to tell our stories.
Share these stories.
And we cannot wait for other people to tell our stories because they're not going to tell it right.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell it with a whole nother agenda.
Right.
Right.
Something
so
that
our
benefits them.
agenda, our agenda is about, sharing the stories, helping to educate folk. It's also a part of our healing process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. To be able to, release and be in community and company with each other to tell these stories and reflect and process and make sense of, our experiences. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to all of that.
Yeah.
And I guess I echo what my sisters have said. Is the sharing is what is the most beneficial part. Brother Wanik had asked me, like, so what are y'all podcasting about? And I was like, well, really, a lot of it is the questions that we get daily, like, how did it feel growing up this way? Or how did, how long were y'all on the run? Or how long was this? And how do you feel now? And, a lot of times I don't even have an answer for people because I've never kind of just sat and thought about it, contemplated, oh, how do I feel now? It's just been this is just who we've been all our life. So it's like, it's just, I feel fine. I mean, of course, there are some, like we said earlier, scars that definitely need healing. And as you both said, this is a process of that healing to be able to share and talk it out. But I'm excited to be able to share and just be able to release.
Yes.
Is that the end?
No. Is that the end?
Is it the end?
Oh,
Lord have mercy. Go to bed.
You gotta do
Mommy said, go to bed.
Daddy too. That was his thing. Sit on your hands. Sit on your hands. You acting
Stand
out
on the wall.
Oh my God.
Stand on the wall.
They had the most creative
I was getting ready to say, our
punishment.
discipline.
Yes. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yes. Or
On my
discipline.
hands.
Yeah. Rather than punishment.
I didn't get a lot of that.
yeah, because
Y'all was bad.
Oh Lord.
we weren't bad. It was just a bunch of us. And
I
we
didn't
be
get
on
a
our
lot of
cars for
active.
hours.
Creative
Girl.
and inquisitive.
Oh, okay.
Those are better words. That's how I describe my daughter. She's very inquisitive.
Well, that's why, because I did so many things too. Like,
Yeah,
had
I was
all
gonna say,
this.
you had your moments of
Had my
being
well, no, I'm just saying that I had a lot of
You're
activities.
lucky that we weren't here yet to see.
exactly.
Because on one of these podcasts, we're going to bring Daddy over here.
Right.
And we're
I
going
mean,
to
I
ask
can tell
questions
some of the things
about
but
the
he will
elders.
tell you, I was
What about
a good child.
when you crashed the van?
Overall, I was.
What
It
was
wasn't
good
a
about
van.
that?
It was a car.
Okay.
It was.
Dad,
I was
get it
overall
right.
a good child.
All that money.
I was overall a good child, wasn't
Look
I?
at her. Why she got to
said,
get
huh?
confirmation?
See,
He said, huh? He said,
Daddy said
huh?
we're on air, so he'll let it fly. Yeah, yeah.
he said all of y'all was good. Now, I don't know
Sure.
about all of them. But
He's like, yeah, you were
Yeah,
good.
You're right.
Yeah, okay.
For the podcast.
it's all right. It's all right.
Nah, I'm just thankful we did this, and I look forward to our next episode. And
Yeah, y'all be ready. Y'all gonna hear some great things.
yes,
Some things you didn't know.
tuned.
We're gonna be, educating a lot of folks.
yes. And shout out to WRFG for opening up their studio to us. It's kind of full
Yes,
circle for us.
It is definitely full circle.
Yes, our mother and our father started here as a radio host of their own show called "What Good Is a Song,"
What
which
Good
still
Is
it
a
actually
Song?
airs
Yes, it does.
with different. I guess you could
Different hosts.
Host. Thank you, thank you. There with different hosts, but it's
Yep.
still going on now. How long has it been, Daddy? What's this? 40,
How many years? It ain't
30,
40, no.
30?
It's the longest,
It's younger than
It's
me.
the longest running
running
Show on
affairs program on the
on WRFG.
I'm going to
Okay.
repeat that just
Right.
in case folks didn't hear.
They didn't
him.
hear that.
It's the longest running public affairs show on WRFG
89.3.
and in the South.
and
Yes.
you might say in the world.
And you might say in the world,
I
Baba
can't
Bilal
think of
said.
any station with any
Give that man a mic. Just give that man a mic.
any program that has been on as long as we've been on, 35 years or
Wow.
more. Yeah, I can't think of just how long it's been, but it's been, and so sometimes, you know, I tell people it's the longest running public affairs program in existence.
And it was started by Suleiman Mahdi, right?
It was started by Suleiman El Mahdi,
Mahdi.
who started 3 other programs at this radio station.
Wow.
He started Tune to Nature, and he started the Labor Forum.
Okay.
And they are still running as
Sure.
well.
Sure.
Yeah,
That's legacy.
that's all from our extended family and
Yes.
revolutionary nationalists, New African revolutionary nationalists, creativity brought that to this station.
And
That's why we're such a big part of this station.
Absolutely.
And here we are.
I know. Full circle.
Yeah.
Carrying
And I think we
on.
mentioned it earlier that our brother and then, you know, a few of his friends, they had the sound room here
Yes.
during his college years.
Yes.
In the 90s.
It was yes.
They brought hip
It was
hop.
full. I mean, I remember when they brought all those artists here.
I still have the cards, Chaka's business cards. It says
With
the sound room.
with the guy with the headphones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I have it.
Yeah, so we're very proud to be a part of this rich legacy
Yes.
and to carry it forward. To carry it forward.
Carry it on.
Oh, now they want to sing.
Carry
See what I'm saying?
it on.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? So yeah, y'all will see a lot of this. You know?
So on that note,
Yes.
we can end the first episode of the Seeds of Revolution, Daughters of the Whirlwind podcast. We thank you for tuning in. Be blessed.
Look for me in the world.